To say the last several months have flown by for Mr. Bob Pritchard would be an understatement. The district's new superintendent and his family have completed a major move, and he's dug into his new position as the district's top administrator, looking to identify where the district is, and more importantly, where it is going. Pritchard said there were several factors that drew him to the Mexico community.
The majority of this district, if you're just looking at it from one perspective, is incredibly robust, and in that particular area, I would say, in terms of its history, its rich legacy, the love of the community for the school district, the support from the community, there is, in my opinion, I've seen a lot of districts, and I've not seen that level of support from the community, and I think we're unique to that end.
Ultimately responsible for the district's financial well-being, Pritchard said he recognizes that the district's resources are a priority.
And most people said financial resources, the resources that we face. Again, we're in a struggling economy, and so we have to do more with less.
He acknowledged that the previous administration and Board of Education left the district financially stable.
That the folks that we have who work here in the district and in our community who helped develop the budget last year were very, very smart in terms of creating a responsible budget.
To maintain that stability, Pritchard plans to solicit a wide range of community members, including students.
Especially important that we get feedback from students to that end. And I found that in the past where we've had successful budget referendums, they were successful because we solicited the feedback from students and families as to what they felt was the most important and what the budget should do for them.
Ultimately, as he begins work on next year's budget, Pritchard remains cautiously optimistic.
This year is not going to be great, but it's not going to be any worse than, let's say, last year. So at this point, it's a matter of holding on. The hole isn't going to get any deeper. But again, it's going to be tight, and it's going to require that we make smart decisions with regard to how we spend that money.
In developing any budget, Pritchard said there has to be fiscal responsibility as well as emphasis on what is good for students.
But our strategy going forward, I will say, as we develop a budget, it's my philosophy, it always has been, and I've been doing this for a long time, I want to keep those cuts away from students, away from the classroom. I think that the enrichment programs that we offer here in the district for our students, the co-curricular activities, the music programs, the sports program, we have a very rich slate of offerings for our students here, and it makes a difference. And I know that we are the gem of Oswego County to that end. We do have a fair number of students from outside the district who pay tuition to come here because we have all those offerings.
The new superintendent has also spent the last several months examining the relevancy of what is being taught in the classroom and what students need after they graduate.
If indeed what we're teaching you is really relevant, if it matters, I think for the most part it is, but remember, we're being bound by not necessarily what students are interested in or even what the world needs, but the tail wagging the dog oftentimes is what the state of New York is testing us on.
At the heart of student achievement, according to Pritchard, is finding out what students think.
I think there needs to be some student engagement, some student involvement. We need to find out what it is that you like, but not only what you like, but what you're interested in and how that translates into what you do beyond school.
A West Point graduate, Pritchard said he will no doubt take some of those experiences and apply them here. He added he is one of 2 military academy graduates to presently hold a superintendent's position in the country.
My mission was to protect the Constitution, and I that's a lifelong commitment that I have to the country, and whether I'm in the service or not in the service. So, I mean, I think that's to me that was the thread of continuity, that people have rights that need to be protected. Some folks are more vulnerable than others, and we all need to take care of each other.
So far, Pritchard said the community has taken care of him and his family throughout their transition to Mexico.
So we had to make sure that everything that we had where we were at, we had here. and we do, except better.
One thing that might not be better are the winter storms, although he'll have plenty of help advising him on when to call snow days.
But I tell you what I won't do. I have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old who go to school in the district, and they've asked me a couple of times if they could make the decision, and I said absolutely not. So I can assure you that they will not play a role in whether or not we have school. So.
For Eye on the Tigers, this is Chris Harder.